So a couple of days ago, we played the newest chapter of Poppy Playtime on this channel. And while I enjoyed most of the chapter, I noticed a few comments from people being angry or even annoyed over me criticizing the dollhouse for a lack of polish and even QA testing. So in this video, I want to show you guys why the dollhouse is poorly designed and how the level can be improved with just a few tweaks.
Can you be a good toy and bring me the crumpets from the oven in the basement?
So the first part of this level is not really that bad because Lily, I believe, they mentioned that we should grab the crumpets from the basement. So even while we can explore this area here, the only thing that we do have is a TV. We can try this door over here, nothing really happens. We don't really know that this panel here is flippable as of yet. Even though we have a light shining right above it, we don't know that these stars can do anything. So for now, we're just gonna follow her. We have Poppy humming, meaning Poppy is essentially our yellow paint, if that makes sense. We could just go to the right here to the kitchen and check this out, even though the kitchen area doesn't really have any interest. We do have this weird pipe over here that we can turn on to like put fire on the stove, but I can imagine this is just like a fun little gag. So instead, let's move down to the basement.
If you can help us get out, maybe find a lever or a key, anything.
So Poppy asks us, find a lever or a key so we can find a way out. We already know here that we need fire in order to break the hair on it, and then we can see there is a lock behind. This lock is going to be noticeable later on. So for now, let's just go back up to basically the tea area. And then we got the crumpets from the basement, and now we're going to go over and deliver them to Lily. So that makes sense.
Next, we'll have to find the friends. They should be around here somewhere. And I know they'd hate to miss this.
So here comes my main problem of this game here. The main problem of this chapter. Let's just wait for her to stop yapping and then I can tell you what I mean. So now we're in this open area here with 3 free friends. When you're in an open area, of course you go around, you explore, you check out the different levels here. I think taking it one room at a time will be the best way to do it. And one of the rooms that annoyed me the most was the garage. So let's go straight for the garage and then you guys can see what I mean. Once we enter the garage here, right? You can see the car. You can see that turns. Okay, that means that we know now that these walls here can turn. But how do we actually interact with it? If you click on this, you can see like even behind here, there's like a battery inside of it. But we cannot open this door here. There is not a way that this star here is in the dark. There is not a way that we have an indicator that we can use this star here to turn it. Even if we go around and like look at the different directions, there is no pure indication that this star here allows us to turn the wall, if that makes sense. So probably someone like me or another YouTuber or even Queso, I've heard, you will run around in this room here, look at the different directions, and you won't really know what to do. Even though that light is shining on this star here, it's not really an indication of it because you have like stars are on top of each door. There's a star here, there's a star there, there's even a star in like certain paintings that you cannot move. And even though you have a star right here and you have a lever right here, this just looks like it's part of the car's design of how the car looks. Only if you crouch down, then yes, you will notice the battery and you will try to take it up and then unlock the trunk, like unlock the boot of the car. But if you're running around, you're like scouting the area, you're like trying to figure out, okay, how can I interact with these items? Is there anything that I can do here? When you're just like running around, seeing if you can figure out a way to do it, this won't be noticeable. Usually when you have a lever like this, in any of the other parts of the game, there's usually light attached to it. You will see that later on when we try to escape Lily. There is a lever that has lights on it, so we will try to grab that and move forward. So it's not like cleanly indicated right here that we can interact or do anything. So for now, we can leave this area, explore a bit more, and once we figure out, okay, we can actually turn these doors using the star, then we can come back and look at this puzzle once again. But for now, if we are oblivious to the fact that we can interact with the walls, we can't really do anything. What we do know, though, is that the vents are interactable, because that is a mechanic that we have been through the game many, many times. So we know that we can just follow these vents here, we can go this way, but this area is more like a fun area, like a special area. You do have some text here on screen, something about a mug, and even if we turn this one here, even though something about a mug again. Even if we take this piece of paper here, this one just talks about Lily and their hair. Someone Lily's mind will be able to manipulate each and every strand in her hair. So this note is more like information about Lily and what sort of entity Lily is. But again, we don't really have anything else. We have a little bit of a secret here with some music and some kids running around. We do have like a soundbite from Lily over here, an exit door that we cannot use. So this room is not really interesting to us. In that case, we move forward and keep on exploring. We could also just take a look at this giant map over here, because you can see we do have different doors. Some are locked. We have like the doll that is inside of the car here. There's a bathroom over here. We have like a pretty good layout of the area that we're inside, but it's only really a map that it showcases. It showcases the area that we're in. For now, we can go upstairs and see if we can explore a little bit more. And when we reach the top of the stairs here, you do see that we spot this lock. So now we have the full image for Poppy in the basement. We gotta get fire to burn the hair, and we gotta get a key to unlock this door here. So we know now this is the way forward. We gotta get a fire source and we gotta get a key. For these two doors here, let's go left first and see what we actually spot in here. Again, that's a pretty good indication that we should go down left, because Lily is down here. But before we go down to Lily, again, we do have a light source on this panel, but we still don't have a clear indicator that this star is an interactable element. There is no shine on it. There is no tutorial. There is no hand-holding. There is no initial setup. Like, the wall moving downstairs should have been the initial setup, giving us the information needed to twist it around. But if you see over here, I mean, this is like the same over here. You can see over here that, yes, that wall can clearly be rotated. But again, we don't know how that's possible if we jump into it, if there's like another way to do it. So let's go down here and follow Lily and see what we spot down here. We have a note. Let's check the note. Does it have any valuable information for us? Anything we can use to like move forward here? So this is talking about covering a hole with something. Anything will do. Maybe just a poster, your favorite one. That's what they deserve. This one here is a great setup, because this tells us that the nursery, there's been some sort of damage to it, and they have covered up a hole with a poster. Well, now we know we have like a clue on how to proceed from here. We gotta find a poster somewhere that is hiding a hole. But the question is, where is that poster? Where can we find it? And when we look around this area, we do see this bookshelf here, and we do see a light on it. So you could put two and two together and be like, okay, something needs to fit here, but you still don't know yet what you should do, because this door here is, it's a wall. You can see that there's something with this wall here. And if you don't look up, you're not gonna spot this attic. If you're just like running around, like I have the highest FOV in this game. It's like 107, I believe. If you're just like running around this corner here, you're not really gonna notice this attic unless there is an indicator. If there was like a broken step ladder on the floor, if there was like a ladder on the side, if there's like any sort of indication, hey, you should probably look up, then we know that this attic is here. So once again, for now, we only really notice this if the game tells us, hey, look up, there's something here you can grab onto. For now, let's go in and explore the music room, which is the last room we have in here apart from the one with the poster, and we also got the bathroom over here that we're gonna check out later. So we go in here, we see that we have a guest that is stuck over here in this tuba kind of thing. Okay, how do we get him out? We see this pressure hand here. We already know from earlier in the game that we should use our pressure hand to do it. So we pressure, and we shoot them directly into the piano. So now we have a puzzle. We don't know what the combination is to get them up. Well, how do we get said combination? We explore a bit more. So you could be like, maybe you're looking at the different paintings, because that was what I did. Because you have a star, you have a diamond, you have a cloud, and then you have a heart. So I'm looking at the different objects, like maybe it's something on the wall, maybe it's the bookshelf, it's the painting here, maybe it's something different. And for me, I didn't find this note in the first case, because it's once again hidden over here in the dark. Like, yes, you do have two bookshelves in here. If you wanted to make it easier, you should probably have had it over here, even though that would be like a little bit too easy. But just having the random combination, like the problem, the solution to our problems right here in a random corner, is not really proper game design, if I can put it that way. And you can take all of this with a grain of salt. I have played video games throughout my life. I'm not a developer myself, but I've been through a lot of video games. So for this one here, if you just look around and use your eyes, you then know that, okay, this is the combination that we need. We can go over here, find our notes, and for this one, we know that it is yellow, pink, blue, red. Yellow, pink, blue, red. And that should open up, and we have our very first guest. And now we can go down and deliver this one. This means that we have 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3 so far. You saw that, right? You saw that that door rotated over there. So even though I moved down the slides a little bit too fast, we do know, okay, something happened over there on the other side. There's a way to rotate that door, but how do we do it? So let's drop this. Actually, let's deliver this guy here real quick. Let's pop him down. And then she just comes in and she leaves again. What we saw before was her rotating the wall on that side. That allows us to look up. And when we look up, we see the magnets. Great. That means that we now know, okay, we can actually go up here. When we're up here, where's the light shining for us? The light is clearly illuminating this vent up here. But if you try to grab it, there is no way that you can grab that vent because this is an exit for later on in the game. So now we are essentially back to square one. But this one here is more noticeable than the other ones, because this one is clean. Let's quickly go through all of the walls with a star on the wall, and then you'll figure out what I mean. Back in here, you can see you have texture on the wall, so it could just be part of the texture. Over here, once again, you do have texture of the wall, so it could just be part of the texture. This could also be an indication, right? But let's just forget about that for now. Let's move forward. The same with this panel over here. This panel also have texture. This design could just easily blend in with all the other circles that is around it. And for down here, you already know you have the bookshelf down here at the bottom. So the bookshelf is the main attraction on this wall. You have something in front of it. So that means that now when we have this information, the wall has rotated twice. We have seen Lily go inside one of them. In that case, let's go back over here. When we see this wall, it should be obvious that this star here is now interactable. And when you rotate this, you do get that holy shit aha moment. Okay, now we can enter this area and see there is a guest over here in this corner. So now our plan is to go around and interact with all the other stars. So let's see, what do we have first? If we go around and look here, we have these two stars. That means that we can rotate this. Boom, we got it. Let's get the fire hand on. Thank you. We can go in here, open this door, and burn this one. And then we can get the doll. That's the second one so far. And now it's time for the hardest one. If we go down and deliver this doll here.
Now, who are we still missing?
So now there is only one more character left. And really only one more location left. Actually, there are two more locations left. So let's go all the way down here to this one. Now we're in this area. If I remember correctly, during my playthrough, this one opened automatically. I think that's literally what happened because I never grabbed onto this one. But we do know that different locations can be rotated now. So now we can grab onto this one here. And we can go inside and we can gather the battery. You gotta use the pressure hand on this one. And once we're in, we have one battery. But now we don't really know where this one goes. I do remember, I think the editor still has the footage, if you can play when I was in this area, because I'm certain that I never actually opened this location here. This one just dropped down for me while I was playing. But in this case, we have opened this location, which means that we should know that this star should reveal this. So, okay, we drop one battery in here, but now comes the problem of the second battery. Yes, if you do look behind you, you do see several stars on it, but as you see later on in the game, when you do have a handle like this, the indication of the handle is essentially that there's light around it. So you could be, and even because this room is so dark here, you're gonna be like running around here for like 10-20 minutes figuring out that it's like the boot of the trunk that it's in. So let's say that we have spent those 20 minutes, we find this battery finally here, which means that we can finally get it and unlock it. Then we can get our power from the hand, and then we can get the doll from in here. And throughout this entire thing, we have never actually been in the attic, because there was never any clear indication that the attic was actually there. So if you aren't exploring and looking up, you're missing, what are you missing? You're missing a couple of items, you're missing a note, there is even like two collectibles up there that you're missing, but you will be introduced to that area later on. But you know, for a second, let's play devil's advocate before we go too long. Let's drop this one down here.
Follow me to the kitchen. We need to make final preparations before our special guest arrives.
So before we follow her, let's see if it's possible to go into the attic here. It's gonna be fun to see if we can actually open this door, if we can go in here. So let's say that we actually explore this area, we locate this attic, we can actually crawl up and we can see what we have up here. Once we're here, this will probably be the first time that you locate the fire source.
No time to dilly-dally. Come over to the kitchen. You might arrive any second now.
If you...
5, 4, 3, 2.
Are you being dead ass? So I'll showcase this area really quickly before she kills us the next time. But if you go to the attic first, before you figure out the stars, then that is the only place you will find the fire source. And yes, that does mean that you can use that fire source to burn the hair in the restroom, just like before. We're just gonna go up and leave her real quick here. So she's gonna be angry. Before she kills me, I'm just gonna quickly go around this area here. In here, on this wall behind me, you do have a secret area. That's only to open a chest over here and a chest up here. This is only for collectibles, right? That chest has been moved. This area over here is very... I would say that we shouldn't see this right now. Because when we see this area, there is a clear indication that we should be able to do something up here or exit through this hole. When this is available for us from the get-go, and we don't have all of the necessary information to move on, we will believe that there's something that we should do up here. This chest that is over on the right side was actually on the left side when I played it, so they have basically updated the game between my playthroughs. So this right here is more like a bonus area, but locking off that way behind us, like maybe when Lily appears from this wall here, if she grabs some furniture from that area and you can look into the area and then you figure out, holy shit, there's a hole in the wall, I gotta go out. That would make it a clear indicator instead. But for now, we're gonna die to Lily and we're gonna follow her into the kitchen.
Follow me to the kitchen. We need to make final preparations before our special guest arrives.
So let's follow to the kitchen and see what she got for us. We can also now, when we know everything, we are able to rotate these around. And then we do know, okay, there's literally nothing here. Why would we have these walls in the starting area of this level when there is nothing around them? There is still no clear indication that you can rotate these. This is like the devil's advocate, like there is no purpose for them. Of course, if you run around this area here and you spend like 20 minutes, 30 minutes just exploring different locations and like punching every single wall imaginable, then yes, you will figure this out eventually. But the game doesn't hand you the hint. They don't be like, maybe they say, the star is the solution, or touch the sky, touch the star. If we just get like any sort of indication that we should touch the star, then we know that we can rotate them. But that indication should have been received in this room. If we got that hint that we should touch the stars, then we can rotate these walls, and maybe I should shut the hell up. But then we can actually see this secret here. That would make a whole lot of sense if we actually get that hint. We get the hint, we rotate the walls, we remember, wait, we have glow bead. We can actually shine on them and see if there's anything hidden on it. And then boom, that is our reward for learning the tutorial. And before, that was just me being stupid because I didn't like go through all of the steps. I didn't use the right flashlight and the UV light and so on. But again, the clear indication of what is within our tool set is not communicated right this way. Even if you look at the TV, it's just like a commercial. We're gonna go first before she kills us.
Look at this mess. We need to tidy up. Return my recipe book to the nook upstairs while I get everything ready.
So now we can grab it. The nook upstairs. Okay, the nook is the corner. We know that's the corner. So we can deliver that and we can free our friends. But before we free our friends, we can't actually do that yet because we can't get any of the fire sources all the way down to the basement before they run out. So now, let's go up to the nook. Now for this area, once again, it's pretty clear that we should deliver the book because you do have that shining spot right here. But we do also hear something. And this is probably...
You've always been a bad toy. When he gets here, he'll see it too.
In here, we have the poster. And that was the poster mentioned in the note we found on the coffee table. So what we can do is we can go out from here and we can get that fire source from before. Once again, we know this part is rotatable. Am I stupid? This is the wrong place it is. It's down here. It's because it's down here. We do know that this one is down here. I can quickly touch on this one. This is for a secret area, like a secret trophy. We don't really need this one now. This is more for like a special place, because if you open this door here, you can put a battery in, you activate that lever, which means that you can open this door over here. We also do have a note here. Maybe when you fully explore this place, this note can actually give us some information. So these are just observation logs on what Lily is doing. We have an entry 1 and an entry 2, and that's essentially it. Still, I worry its stability relies entirely on the illusion a single breach collapse and trust that we've engineered. If more lives become the cost of operating this sweet street, then we can truly say, is it worth pursuing? So again, this doesn't really help us in any way. But again, this one here is more for like a secret where we can play the right notes on the piano and then this door opens in here. But let's go back, grab the fire source, and then we burn the poster. We have the fire source, we burn it, and that means that we have a clear way of exiting this place. And it should be pretty clear that we can grab this block here and then we can jump out. Now, we do have another giant wall right here. And if we have been through the game, we know exactly what to do here. We know that we gotta touch the star in order to rotate it. So this is no problem at all. We know exactly how to interact with this, how to get into this place here. And once we're in, we're locked into the bedroom. We still, like, the key on the outside is, like, locking us, like, stopping us from proceeding and moving forward. And, of course, this big bed, this big heart-shaped locket here is gonna be the main course of action, like, the main, interest in here. Even though you can, like, try and interact with different doors, that's to the outside of the staircase, this is the bathroom, and this is, like, a closed-off door, and this was the place we just came from. So the only thing we can do is see if we can click on this, and then it makes sense to move forward. And then after watching the cutscene and going into the closet, it's pretty clear for us that we should go up here because we do have the magnet strips on the wall, and now it is finally time for us to drop down from that part of the vents that we saw earlier that is near the bathroom area. And then, here we are. So now we should go down to the basement. And once we're down here, it's pretty clear of how to proceed. But this door...
Find a way to free us yet?
This door here wasn't really clear for me the first time. Yes, you can see that it's misaligned, but if you're like looking around the area, for me the most interesting spot was getting this one to work here. So when you're just walking around, it's very much still in the corner. Like, we do have a light shining down from above here, but if this light was just turned a little bit to the left and shining down on this area, then it would be more noticeable instead of the wall just being like that. Even if you like, for me, when I went into this location, you tried to look through all the different, what is that, morgues again? The different, like, places. That was only when I noticed this location here. So after finding out that we can actually rotate this one and move forward, it is pretty straightforward to essentially get Poppy and Kissy out of this location. I feel like I can kind of compare this to like Portal. Like, you remember in Portal and Portal 2, you can put portals on the white surfaces and all the black shiny metal surfaces, or like the silver surfaces, are the ones that you cannot put any sort of like portals on. And having that sort of like difference in texture, difference in quality could be a huge help in this case here for us to figure out like which walls can we rotate and which walls can we not rotate. Just as a symbol of like maybe a color change, or like maybe some smudges on the side, like if there's like a if the walls are touching each other, if that makes sense. If the wallpaper is a little bit you know, if it's rubbing off, if there's like some chips on the actual concrete, small hints like that would give us enough to look an extra bit, like give it a closer look on the actual wall before we figure out, hey, we can actually rotate this one. Now we have the power source, or like the fire source, so we can burn this. We have the key, so we can just hit E on it, and then we can let these guys go.
You did it.
And in here we do have like a secret interactable, like a secret that we can just grab.
She comes back.
What's going on?
So the next part of this game here is actually not that bad. It's just red light, green light.
Nobody takes or breaks my pretty things.
And you can see even here, like, it activated the, I didn't even activate that myself. I had, like, the normal flashlight on, but the game actually activated the UV light. So that's the kind of hand-holding, not hand-holding, but that's the kind of game design that I would love. That, Jesus Christ, that if I'm going out of here with the flashlight and there is no clear indication that even though there is a clear indication, the game automatically switches it to UV. That's what I like, just so we have like a way to proceed instead of like going around maybe dying a bunch of times. So again, red line, green light is pretty straightforward. It's not really that bad.
You just might get a prize.
I think she's gonna kill me if I don't wait until she's done yapping. And then I can go up here.
Think you're going? You wouldn't want to miss the tea party. No.
But this was also like a good indication of where we have to go, because you saw like Kissy and Poppy waiting at the top of the attic as well. So now we know that small pile of objects, of furniture, is where we gotta go later on. So for this chase sequence here, I also got a lot of problems. Let's start with the first one here. When we open up this door, she should have appeared a little earlier and she should have been more to the right. Because when she just runs in the middle of the room, it feels like you should be able to go past her on the right. Most of the chase sequences in Poppy Playtime are usually trial and error. And I think Markiplier, he said it best, that if you are gonna have to fail a chase sequence in order to figure out this is how I run from the villain, that ruins the entire chase sequence.
In a chase sequence, as I've said before in these games, as soon as you die, it loses all of its value!
So the fact again is that she appears at the door and then she runs after you. She should have smashed through the door and be closer to the railing, because in that way we would have known, holy shit, we cannot actually bypass her because she's blocking the clear way. Like right now it seems like you can slip past her, but even if you try to do that, she wasn't even close enough. But because you hit her barrier, that is when she catches you. So this is the where we gotta turn around. And this happens actually twice in this chase here, that we gotta turn around and run the opposite direction, which is weird. So let's go back in and then see what happens again. We run up the stairs here with Kissy Missy. The door opens, we go the opposite way, which means that we go outside the perimeter. We go outside, jump on here, and then we use the magnets to go to the other side, if I can actually grab the magnets.
5,
And then,
4.
what now? Now we're here. This drops down. So that means that if we're fast enough, we can actually grab this one and go over here. Now comes my problem with this direction, because this tuba blew off the furniture. So there are two potentials here. This, for me, tells me, wait, we can blow Lily away. And that is further verified when this button shows up. But when we try to do it, just like I did right now, I tried to do it, but I didn't go all the way because it's not possible to charge it up all the way. When this button is still interactable here, that means that there should be a way for us to send Lily flying. Because earlier in the game, the setup is we can use this to blow the tuba. The doll is set into the piano. So why can't we use it now to blow Lily away? But when we try and do this approach here, she's gonna jump over and try and kill us. So now when we go through this, the game is essentially telling us that we're supposed to run towards the enemy, when we just saw a couple of seconds ago that we should run away from the enemy. We run after Kissy, Lily shows up, then we turn around. But now we're running straight after Kissy. So we go over here on the other side. The tuba blows the furniture, she breaks in, we can go up here, and then we have a little bit of time. We can actually crawl down here, and then we can go back up again. We don't have a whole lot of time though. But this here should be... Now it should be pretty straightforward that we should get up here. And we actually managed to get through without a lot of issues. Now here is a little bit hard because of how the lighting is set up. If you have played this several times, you know exactly where you should go. So you should use your magnets to go up here. But when you're up here, you're looking, she's chasing you. Oh my god, where am I supposed to go? Where am I... You're gonna most likely die on the first try again, because you're on the roof. You don't know, where am I supposed to go? And she's right on your ass. Or do you want to jump down from the roof? Do you want to go on the other side? Do you want to go on an opposite side? So once again in this case, you're forced to retry the chase sequence once again. So we're gonna crawl underneath the painting. She's gonna appear, and then we're gonna go up here. So now we have another chance to look around and see what can we spot. Well, we can see that there are now magnets on these clouds, which means that we can go for them. We can jump over here. This one falls down. We do know that we can grab onto this, because this has been a thing throughout the entire game. And then if we're fast enough without dying, we can make our way up here. Perfect. And then once again... Okay, we just made it in time. And then, for the final one, we can make it all the way over here, and the chase sequence is essentially over. And the playhouse area, the dollhouse area, is essentially done.
I let you into my house. I let you come to my...
And it's pretty straightforward that we take this and we... And that was the anticlimactic ending. And now we can move forward. Wouldn't it be funny if I drop down here and I just get like the same kill animation? No, okay, it's just that. So, that was my critiques of Poppy Playtime. More specifically, the playhouse area. Because I can imagine, right? Don't get me wrong, I can imagine a lot of comments on this video are gonna be rage bait, it's gonna be people being mad at me for being a bad gamer, it's gonna be people screaming yellow paint, game journalism, right? But this is not about yellow paint. It's not about game journalism. It's about proper game direction and how to tell your player to go in the right way. If you have played like AAA games like The Last of Us, for example, even certain Uncharted games, even Assassin's Creed games, a lot of the big major, and I'm not comparing mob games to major companies. I'm saying if you play those bigger games, it's a clear path for your player to move forward. Even in open world games, the area that the developer wants you to take is pretty much clear. But in this case here, Poppy Playtime, when I started playing it, was supposed to be a horror game and not really a puzzle game. They do have puzzle elements in it, but in this entire chapter here, what we have gone through is like a chase sequence, puzzles, a chase sequence, puzzles. We don't really have a whole lot of horror elements. Like the good horror element, I would say, is like the times where we hide in the cages where the prototype is near, or when we're gonna have to like follow the path and play red light, green light with Lily. And even the time with Huggy Wuggy where we have to like activate the batteries to go out of that area. But that area it was fully lit, so it wasn't really that scary. The point that I want to get across is not bad game design. It's learn from your players and get some QA testing done in terms of like making sure that you have the proper lighting and you give your players all that they need to like move forward. It could have been, like I mentioned so far, like in the past, it could have been as easy as literally just have a note in the starting area or on a door or close to the TV, like in the starting area. Like you can even have it in the kitchen area where either Poppy tells you about follow the stars, reach for the stars. Maybe there's a note where you have like the star on it. If we just have any sort of direction that gives us the knowledge, okay, we can actually turn the doors, we can turn the different walls so we can reach new areas. Because the puzzle here isn't that we can transform the dollhouse. The puzzle is fixing or solving the puzzles inside of the dollhouse. It's going to the attic. It's getting the doll out of the car. It's getting the doll out of the tuba. It's getting the doll out of the bathroom. It's not how do I turn this wall so I can get to the puzzle. Like we don't have to solve the puzzle to solve another puzzle, if that makes any sense. Before I finish it up, I want to say no shade, no harm, no offense to the developers of this game. I feel like the chapter was really well made. There was a lot of good story moments. There was a lot of good chase sequences apart from like this one here. The dollhouse, I just feel like it lacked a lot of QA testing. And even if you watch like, when I played this, I had to go online to search for help. I looked at 8-Bit Ryan. I looked at Think Noodles. I've heard that people look at Queso, and Queso also had a lot of problems with this chapter here. So I am not the only one. So when people are screaming yellow paint or game journalist or like bad, if they're blaming me for something that a lot of players are actually experiencing as well, it's not me that's bad in this game. It's the game that is not up to the standard that it should be. So once again, I'll finish this off by saying no shade to anyone. All that I would like is just a little light or a little note or just a little nudge in a direction like, hey, did you know that this item here is interactable? Because a lot of times in Poppy Playtime, it's not clear which item is interactable. It's not clear what you can grab onto and what you cannot grab onto. We know that the grab pack is a usable item or like a utility, a tool that we use throughout the game. But sometimes it's crystal clear, like for example with the vials where you gotta like turn them on to burn the different things that is inside of them, because that was kind of set up inside of the dollhouse. But other times it's not really clear and you don't want to go through the entire game like punching every single surface to see if there's like some sort of interactable area. I think I've said everything that I want to say. Once again, no shade, no harassment, no offense. All I would like is just me have fun, me play video game, me have good time, me have fun. I think I'm done yapping. I want to say thank you all for watching the video. Let me know your takes in the comments below. I can imagine the comment section is going to be like very split. Either it's going to be, yellow paint game journalism kind of comments, or it's going to be people that agree with my take. But you know what? That is the fun thing with social media. So thank you all for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and with that said, I will head out.